Technical Sergeant, 5th grade, Golden Lock Thurston of Stevensburg, Virginia, was born the second youngest of 7 siblings around 1907. His father did not live with his family throughout Mr. Thurston's early life, which was defined by his mother, Cornelia. She and Mr. Thurston's older siblings supported the family through various jobs like washing clothes, laboring, and cooking for locals. Cornelia ensured that each of her children attended school and learned to read and write, a remarkable feat for the time. This school might have been Laurel Grove, a local segregated grammar school for African American children. She herself went from being illiterate at the time of Mr. Thurston's birth to being literate when he was 10 years old. He married Isabella Harris around the age of 18, and together they had one child, Robert Thurston. It seems, however, that he lived with her for a very brief time and abruptly moved to Charlottesville, Virginia around 1930. There he had 2 children, Henry and Annalee Foster, with his future wife, Mary Smith. At this time, he also worked in the sports department of the University of Virginia as a janitor. When he was drafted in 1942, he labeled his next of kin as his older sister, Mamie, and went on to serve in the highly specialized 29th Chemical Decontamination Company. There, he was a 5th grade technician, a very high rank for an African American man with limited education. This rank was likely due to his past work experience handling chemicals or advanced age, as he was in his early 30s when he enlisted in the U.S. Army. Technician Thurston's duties with the company included putting out grass fires, handling dangerous chemical warfare service weapons, and organizing anti-mosquito spraying efforts to combat the very real risk of dengue fever in Honolulu, a risk that remains in the area today. On May 21st, 1944, the 29th Chemical Decontamination Company was in the process of loading the last 4.2-inch mortar shells onto landing ship tanks, LSTs, when Pearl Harbor's West Lock exploded 3 times in a little-known accident that killed 163 people and wounded over 350. Hawaii's second greatest disaster in terms of casualties. Technician Thurston and many others from his mostly African American unit represent a significant number of those casualties. It is the hope of Punch Bowl officials and advocates that the remains of those victims, now only known as being missing in action and buried in unknown graves, be recovered and identified with the help of the Defense POW MIA Accounting Agency. The sacrifices of the 29th Chemical Decontamination Company remained unacknowledged throughout the court inquiry and memorialization of the 1940s and 50s. The unit was blamed for dropping the mortar shell that started the first explosion on LST-353. However, it was later discovered that a rogue cigarette butt from another unit was likely the catalyst. The West Lock disaster as a whole was kept secret and did not delay the subsequent invasion of Saipan that the LSTs were originally intended for. Today, we remember Golden Lock Thurston not only as an undervalued hero, but rather as one man who made the ultimate sacrifice for his country. He came from an impoverished county in rural Virginia, joined an unrecognized unit, and died in an obscure accident. But he gave his life to the American cause, something we should all be grateful for. Thank you.